First question, Steve, from Matt Monakia on the right.
Afternoon, Steve.
Afternoon.
Great team. Before we get into that, could I just ask you about Eddie Jones? He has a lot to say. I know you said you might not go there with him, but have you changed your mind, or what did it make that comment?
So what you asked me about Eddie Jones?
Yeah, what did you make?
Hell of a good bloke. Very good coach.
What did you make of what he said on Tuesday?
What did he say on Tuesday, particularly that you want me to comment on?
Allegations of spying. You watch it?
Well, Eddie and I both know all's fair in love and war. And there's nothing better in war than throw a wee distraction out there. You know, you guys can't resist. Best clickbait in the world. Someone's spying on us. He didn't call it us. He's very deliberate in not doing that. He talked about it being somebody else. Probably the same bloke that videoed us during the same time we were there. But everyone's jumped on it and he's been successful in getting the clickbait he wants.
Is it just the usual playful banter from another coach in the week, or is there a bit more?
Well, there'll be a bit more tonight, won't there? There's a reason why I have press conferences now and his is at 5 o'clock. So I look forward to reading it. It's been good. It's allowed us to have a good laugh and be relaxed.
Andy, what about
Steve, just continuing on that theme, have you been in touch with Eddie about those claims?
I've been in touch, or he's been in touch with me, but not about those claims, no. I've had a few laughs about a few other things.
Just regarding, I suppose, the standout change in this team, Scott Garrett starting at 6. What's the reasoning behind that change at this particular game?
We're not going to go into too much depth about that because otherwise we're giving Eddie some information that he'll probably be able to work out pretty quickly himself. So I'd rather he have to work it out. But obviously it's strategic. It's not on form. Sam Cane's playing lovely rugby. However, we've made some decisions around what we want to do and how we want to play, and that means we've made that change because of that.
What has Scott bringing you from the start in this game?
Well, the obvious things, he's a line-out forward. He's a ball carrier, so it adds to our ball-carrying ability.
Hey, Wayne.
Just coming back, Steve, just coming back to this topic of mind games. So are you basically saying that Eddie Jones has made something up about New Zealand?
No, he didn't make anything up. What he said, and he's very particular about what he said, that someone filmed their training. And I think he might have even added at the back end of that, it could have been a supporter. He didn't say New Zealand did it. You guys all did that. You jumped on that bandwagon. It's quite clever.
Yeah, it's very clever. I mean, it is a mind game.
Well, it's only a mind game if you buy into it. We're not buying into it. And as I said, it's allowed us to have a good laugh. I'm chuckling away. I get a text. How you going, Steve? Pretty good, thanks, Eddie. He's laughing, I'm laughing. You guys are getting what you want because everyone's clicking on the bait. And we're wasting time talking about it now.
Smiley face on the end of the ticket.
No, he doesn't send smile. He's not a smiley face man.
Steve, how much, you normally say you don't look back at the past too much, but how much did, in particular, the second half, like you've seen the last November, influence the Barrett decision?
Oh, yeah, it had a wee bit to do with it.
Significant?
Well, if a wee bit significant, Nigel, then it's significant, but it's a wee bit.
Yep, middle right here.
Steve, Eddie Jones also said pressure was chasing you down the street.
Oh, look, I've talked about pressure ever since I've been an All Black coach because we're under pressure all the time. And I think early in our history, we ran away from it, so it was chasing us down the street. But these days, we've had to acknowledge, yeah, it's there. You know, we're expected to win every game, whether it's a semi-final, quarter-final, just an ordinary test match. It is. There is a pressure. It's a big game. But it would be very naive to think that there's not pressure on both sides. And when you can publicly acknowledge it, that it's on you, then there's an awareness. And that same pressure's running down the same street that he's on. And he's trying again to take that pressure off. You know, he's trying to take the pressure off his own side by getting everyone to talk to us about pressure. And again, smart move, but I'm not buying into it. Our players aren't buying into it. We know we're under pressure. We don't need Eddie to tell us that. But what he needs to work out is what's England going to do about the pressure they're under. Because they'll have memories about a tournament 4 years ago and didn't go that good. So they'll be under immense pressure themselves. And to say that they're not, they've got nothing to lose. Eddie doesn't believe that either. They've got a whole 4 years' work resulting on one outcome. So they can get the opportunity to go and play another game, which will have the same amount of pressure on it.
Yeah, switching on the left-hand side of the wall.
Steve, hello, Paul Rees from Al Jazeera. Most of our audience will only probably remember New Zealand-England games in the 90s. England really being turned over by New Zealand. Could you sort of explain what's changed in the last 20 years to make England more of a prospect than we have?
Look, it's really hard to answer that question because we've only played them once in recent times. But, I think since the game's gone professional, England have changed. I think they've been determined to enter into the professional era and be successful. And they've had moments when they've done that really, really well. They haven't had as much sustained success as they probably wanted. And they had a massive disappointment at the last World Cup. But that creates adversity. You've only got to look at ourselves in 2007. I think that adversity gave us the ability to look at ourselves and put our hands up around some inconvenient facts. And, I'm sure England have done that. Eddie will have forced them to look at themselves, and they've been a marvellous team during periods of that time in the last 4 years. Have won 18 test matches in a row. We're really looking forward to playing them, as they are us. So these are the moments that players and coaches and staff want to be involved in because they're the big games. And, I think your viewers can get excited about what's coming. Let's hope the game lives up to the hype that's going to come with it, because if it does, then, we'll be going... sending a message around the world to rugby lovers and people maybe who have just seen it for the first time. Wow, what a wonderful game! And yes, there's an important side outcome, which is about who's going to win it. But it won't define the All Blacks, and I'm sure it won't define England either.
Yeah, Steve, sit around the back.
Question about the scrum. New Zealand has not lost the scrum since Martian, the introduction. We don't often talk about the scrum, about the All Blacks, but is it something make you proud, and will it be an issue that can make you win in semi-final?
The scrum is still one of the most important things in the game. We don't talk about it a lot, but we do a lot of work on it. We've got one of the best scrum coaches in the world, I think. He's revolutionary. He's never stopped still during his coaching time, and our scrum functions pretty well, and it'll need to on Saturday.
Wait, Nige.
Steve, how do you prepare players for things that they may not have seen?
You just run different scenarios that you may, as a coaching group, think that get chucked at you. But you can't prepare for everything. You just got to expect the unexpected. We use the term ABC, assume some things, believe nothing, until you confirm them on the park. And it's how quickly you can adapt and adjust to the things that are different. That's really important. But you've got to be fluid and flexible in how we think. And again, you drop back into your blueprints of your game, whether it's defensive or attack.
Yeah, front row, then to another back. Wait, Tom.
Steve, a lot is made of starting 15s on days like this, but what about the fact that you've got a guy like Dane Cole, Sam Kane, Samuel Williams to come off the bench and finish a match that will have a lot of pressure at the end of it? How important is that?
Yeah, well, just before I answer that question, I've looked over, and are you a junior Paddy Gow? I've never seen you wear a coat like that before at a press conference. Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking very similar, so good on you, looking sharp. How important is the bench? I think, the bench is massive, has been, and, don't take it personally either, by the way, you do look sharp.
Marcus as well,
Oh, good. Yeah, well, that's outstanding, good plug for the sponsors. Barkers. Your bench is awesome, it's so important in today's game, and that's why we always talk about 23. We don't talk about a starting 15, we just talk about a team of 23, because you need 23 people to get the job done. And there's still a thought process at times where people think, the best players always start, but sometimes they don't. Some guys are better finishers of the game than they are starters of the game. So you've got to get your squad to understand that, and you've got to get your contracting department to understand that too, so that people are getting paid for what they're doing. But we're fortunate we've got some big hitters on the bench, and we're going to have to go deep into the game, I'm sure, and they'll get a great opportunity to show us what they got.
So Sam Kane hasn't been dropped like a lot of people think you've dropped Sam.
No, well, I think hopefully I pointed that out before. Like, Sammy's in good form, but we've got a strategy that says we should pick Scott Barrett and bring Sam off the bench.
Yep, a little back, Steve, on the left.
Yes, Steve, it's widely expected that England are going to start with George Ford. Is this something you've seen, and how do you think it will impact on the game?
No, we talked about that on Tuesday, that possibly Eddie will make some changes. He's reasonably shrewd in his thinking, and we've seen plenty of the George Ford and Farrell combo. We've seen enough of Farrell and Tuolangi combo. So in your preparation, just prepare for both scenarios, and then get on and try and deal with it the best you can.
We got Matt and then Jim Case at the back.
Steve, just in terms of the new things you're trying to implement with the team, you talked about wanting it to become instinctive and get back to Wellington with the draw.
Yeah.
When we got here to Kashiwa, it still wasn't there yet, but can you talk about how it's progressed?
No, I think hopefully you can see how far it's progressed. We're a lot more fluid and a lot more accomplished in our execution of what we're trying to do. And that's taken some time, but it's one of the benefits of World Cup. It's the only time really where you get the All Blacks together without having to move around too much, and therefore you can train a lot more together and put some of those things in place.
We'll go Jim and we'll go Mark.
Steve, you used Scott Barrett off the bench at 6-4, and you talked about the role of the bench. It's very different to him in this week with starting and positional role for him as a starter.
Oh, the big difference is he gets 6 on his back and he runs out with the team. No, it's just the same job. Why would you think it would be different?
Because you want different things from the bench than, you talked about that before, you need impact and different things from the bench, just asking.
But you need impact from your starters too, otherwise you're chasing. And like the role he's going to play is exactly the same role he'd play whether he started, finished, or the 6 role is a 6 role that you're going to play and implement in your strategy. So there's no difference.
Mark, over here on Mark.
Steve, can I just check on how your skipper is?
Yeah, he's good.
Really good.
Really good. Yeah, well, he seems good. Now, do you want to know if he's really, really good? Because he's really, really good.
And just the general sort of mindsets of the guys. I mean, this is clearly a big challenge. You talked about it.
We got 30 people out of 31 to select from, so that's a bonus. Obviously, there's some people who are disappointed because they're not in the 23, but they've knuckled down and have been really supportive of the group that are, and have given. We've still got one training run to go, so they've given great support to the 23 that started, and there's a huge amount of excitement. As I said before, these are the games everyone wants to be part of. So everyone's looking forward to it. We've got a lot of respect for the English team and what they've achieved in the last 4 years, and we know it's going to be a big battle, but that's it's called a test because that's what it is. And again, looking forward to it.
We'll have time for two more. Nigel and then on the wall.
There's a train of thought from people who have played this tournament that the semi-final is the hardest game to play at the tournament, harder than the final itself. Do you subscribe to that theory yourself, and if so, why isn't it much?
Well, it's the most difficult one we're going to have because it's the next one, I suppose. But sometimes I think people come off the euphoria of winning the quarter-final and then they start looking ahead at the final. And I think that could have been a mistake that we've made in the past, the All Blacks. And I think we may have even done it in 07, looking beyond the quarter-final. And when you start looking beyond where you're actually at, then your mind's not where your feet are, and then you're vulnerable. So I think that's probably why they would say it's tough, because you've just come off the euphoria of winning the quarter-final, knowing you now have an opportunity, and then you may start looking at that opportunity before you've actually earned the right to look at it. Maybe, I don't know.
Last question on the wall. Steve.
Steve, could you argue that the pressure is actually more on England, given that Eddie Jones performs the role precisely for big knockout games like this, and he's made, chasing you down winning the World Cup his big focus?
Yeah, I don't know how much pressure they've got on themselves. I know there'll be pressure there, and I think when you have your press conference at 5 o'clock tonight, that's a really good question to Eddie, rather than him asking you if you think we can win it or not. I think the reality is both teams have got pressure on different types of pressure. We're going to try and attempt, if we win this game, and I'm emphasising if we win it, we will be attempting to do something that's never been done before. So logic would say that we shouldn't be favourites to do it because it's never been done before. So that brings its own pressure, which Eddie's highlighted. But again, you've got a team that have come out of a previous tournament and not been as successful as they wanted to be. And now they've all built themselves up for 4 years to do this job. And that brings its own pressure, a different type of pressure, but it's still pressure. And it's how we all deal with it, leading up to it. Hence why, I said Eddie's throwing a bit of clickbait out there, and him and I are having a giggle about it, but really it's about trying to take some of the pressure off his own team. And it's a normal thing in sport, in life. We all face pressures in life sometimes, most of the time. So to think there's not any, then, but I don't think there's any more or any less. It's just there, and how you deal with it in the moment is going to be crucial.
Thanks everyone. That's us. Here over here in a couple of minutes.
Thank you.